Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special edition of Focus on Liberia. My name is Dennis Jai, and we are broadcasting from Atlanta, Georgia. In tonight's edition, we're going to be looking at revenue generation and job creation in the mining sector with specific reference. The case study is Acelor Mittal. My guest is Dr. Carmah T. Mulabah. Doc, welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Thank you, Dennis. Happy to be back.
Thank you. Yes, this is your second or third time on Focus on Liberia.
That's
We
correct.
are glad to have you. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. And you?
I'm great.
Okay.
By the way, Dr. Mulabah is a graduate of the Monrovia Demonstration Elementary School. He likes to start from there. He has a Master of Science in Information System. First, he's a graduate of the University of Liberia with a Bachelor of Science in Mining Engineering, Master of Science in Information System and Software Engineering from Strayer University, and a PhD in Computer Science and Big Data Analytics. When it comes to mining, he has work experience in mining with the National Iron Ore Company in Grand Cape Mount County, mining engineering, production, and grant control at the Bonk Mining Company, and also material engineering. Also mining engineering at the Geological Management that's in Ghana and technical office administrator. Currently, he resides in the USA and he works as a data analyst and technical subject matter with a technology company in Virginia. Once again, he has a combined 18 years of working experience in the iron ore mining sector in Liberia and mineral exploration, that is gold, in Ghana. Dr. Mulabah served the Liberian government in the following positions at the Ministry of Lands, Mines, and Energy: Chief Mining Engineer, Republic of Liberia; Director, Bureau of Mines and Concessions; Assistant Minister for Mines, and he has over 30 years of practical working experience in the IT industry with emphasis on computer programming and data analytics. Once again, Dr. Mulabah, we are so happy to have you tonight.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you very much. That was a nice introduction. I'd just like to add that I am from Kwadu Boni District, which is in Lofa County. And I was born in a town in Kwadu called Sakonodu. My hometown is Marvin Wenedu. So just to add that to it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Kwadu Bonu Chiefdom. And what's your town again?
Marvin Kwanedu.
Marvin Kwanedu.
Yeah, it's in the Kwadu section of the Kwadu Boni district. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, so tonight we're going to be talking about revenue generation and job creation in the mining sector. Let's start like this. When we say the mining sector, what are we talking about? What make up the mining sector in Liberia?
In Liberia, the mining sector will refer to iron ore, gold, diamonds, and some other minerals that have not yet been discovered. But mining itself is finding a gem in a bunch of waste, just to analyze it that way. You have like the iron ore, there's an Fe content you want, but it comes with a whole lot of waste. So you have to treat it to bring it to the level you want so that it's marketable. So that's just a simple definition of mining. So you have placer deposit, which we have as diamond and gold, and you have the iron ore. And right now, I think there is an underground mining for gold somewhere in the B Mountain. But those are new technology right now. But Liberia has always been iron ore, gold, and diamond. And the iron ore have been the ore bodies, the diamond and gold mining have been placer deposits.
So when we say mining, is it something that we have to dig up from the ground, or it can where is it found? The minerals that we are finding in this whole mining thing, are they under the ground? Are they on the surface? Are they in mountains? Are they in where are they?
Okay, it depends on which mineral you're looking for.
Okay.
If you're looking for iron, or if you're looking for iron, it's in iron ore, and that's a deposit beneath the earth. It needs to be explored, analyzed, and evaluated. If you're looking for gold or diamond, as I say, it might be in placer deposit, like you have it's lowland, sand, or whatever, gravels, and those are very easy to do. That's why most local people try to do gold and diamond, because it's not a huge investment and it's not difficult to get to it. But if you want to do iron ore, that costs for a lot of investment. So that's why you have concessionaire coming, big companies coming to do it, because an individual cannot do it. So it depends on how deep it is and how accessible it is.
Oh, wow. So I see in Liberia, I mean, we are familiar with this iron ore company. So, but there's what is the let me first ask you this. What is the importance of this whole mining sector to the economy of the country?
The mining sector, besides giving revenue to the government through royalty or whatever arrangement is made, it provides jobs for the people so they don't depend on the government. It provides hospital care, it provides education, it provides all of these things if the concession agreement is adhered to and monitored. So the mining sector, like in 1985, 86, the Liberia Mining Company closed abruptly. And that's another topic we can talk another day. But the economic impact, people had to come down Monrovia. Now they came to look for job from the government. But what happened then, the government was blessed because we had bond mines, we had LAMCO. So the Ministry of Labor just tried to negotiate with bond mine and LAMCO to absorb some of these workers. Okay. But in the case of National Iron Ore, when it closed, there were not many mines to take people. So there was no other alternative but to come, everybody get on the government. So the government can't do this, the government can't do that. So the mining sector is a vital place, not only for money that we get from the companies, but also to keep the citizens who are working there off the government payroll.
Right.
Yes.
So what are the ministries and agencies or the part of government that is connected with this mining sector?
Well, it used to be only lands, mines, and energy, but there are other bureaus being created out of lands and mines that also deal with the mineral sector. The National Investment Commission is also part of it because people coming in have to go through some formalities. But the main body responsible for mining in Liberia is lands, mines, and energy. I don't know if the energy is still there, but lands and mine is main government office that deal with mining.
So what is the process? Because I know for iron ore and things like that, as you said, individuals can do it, so it takes companies. So what is the process to get a license to mine iron ore, to mine diamond, or to mine gold, or any other mineral for that matter? What does it take?
Okay, first we call exploration. Somebody will say, I suspect there is iron ore over here or something, or an area air reconnaissance takes place, and we have something what they call vegetation indication. That is because the trees are above the mineral, they tend to absorb whatever mineral is under there. And so iron has a special effect on trees. So if you do area survey, you have a tendency to see coloration that differentiates where it could be. And also we have three-dimensional sampling. So it all begins with a suspicion that there's an ore body, and then the geologists go in, do some exploration. So that's where you have what we call MDA, Mineral Development Agreement. And some people used to call it concession agreement, but it's the same thing. So MDA has two phases. It can be for an unexplored place. Then they have to start with actual geological exploration to determine whether the ore body is actually economical or not relative to the current market price of the iron ore. That's where you start from to see whether it's economical. In another case, like Acelor Mittal, the place is already, you have data on it, you have geological information because LAMCO left. Right. So their MDA will not stop only with exploration. They may not even do exploration because they have the geological data already. Right. Their MDA will cover if they want to do exploration and then mine. So that's why Acelor Mittal was very lucky because there were existing geological data, and LAMCO left not because of depletion, but because of the war. So they had a very good to see that it was already established, and all they need to do is the mineral development document will just allow them to mine. We'll get to that later, but those are the different phases. And then for the gold, you do exploration, and then you try to give some idea of where it should be. These are all processes. And then once you do that, you do your mapping, you show your client where the possibility of gold could be during your sample, because you collect sample and you do analysis in the lab and you plot it. And then that tells you where the possible mineral could be. Diamond is another thing. It's a difficult thing to quantify a diamond, but you can have an idea. You can sample the diamond field and have an idea of what's supposed to be there. It's not 100%, but you can pinpoint an area than to just go to a blind area and mine. So these are all, everything you do in mining starts with exploration to see whether it's economically feasible. Because like Waragisi was explored in the 70s. Nobody could mine Waragisi because it was not economically feasible. That means if you mine Waragisi, then you end up with a net loss. And no company wants to lose.
Right.
See? So Waragisi iron ore type is like itabarite, which is similar to that of bone mine. So the only company that could actually take on Waragisi was bone mining company. But look at the distance. So you can explore, but it's not economical at the time. You have to wait. So these are the different processes.
Well, so when you say it's not economical at the time, meaning it's not ripe yet for mining, or it's still young? Is it growing? What does that mean?
Okay, you explore, you quantify, you say it's about 37% or 40% iron ore in there. All right. Now, if you look at the processes, because the iron ore market minimum maybe 64-65% Fe. So you have to upgrade that 37% up to the market price, the market demand, 65% Fe. If you look at all of the costs involved in doing that, you see that you're going to lose. So yeah, it is an ore body. Yeah, it exists, but it is not economical at this time.
Okay.
So in school of mine, we have what we call a theory that says, as we advance in technology in beneficiation, that is in the concentrator, we should be able to mine low-grade ore. So with that theory, with a very good concentrator, you can take an Fe content of 35% and upgrade it to 65%. And what happens? You get more ore. But we'll get to that part when we get to
yeah, because what I was trying to understand that, but the mine under the ground or the mineral, they don't change.
No. The mineral doesn't change, and the Fe content doesn't change. It's there. It's already done through volcanic, other thing, magmatic, stuff under the ground. It has been formed, right. And the Fe content is what it is. There's no magician. You can't change it. You just have to deal with it. So
it is what it is.
Yeah. Then you take a chance. You have to have the right equipment to make sure it's profitable. And all of this stuff from the market. If they say Fe content 65 is what we'll buy, you work your way back to the mine through the concentrator, get your cutoff grade, and start mining. So without a concentrator, it's just a waste of time and economic loss. And that's why I'm here tonight.
Okay, great. So let me get that, because I love to understand this a little better. Is let's say the iron ore, the mineral there is 35%. I'm just using a number.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You can get it out and put concentrator on it. I don't know what that is, and you can carry up to 65.
Yes, exactly what Bowman was doing. Bowman was mining cutoff grade 37%. Anything below 37% was a waste.
Yeah.
So anything 37% up, the concentrator was able to take 37%, work on it, do its magic, and produce pellets and concentrate 65% Fe, which was needed on the world market. So the world market for iron ore determines what you do on your mine. Now, if you don't have a concentrator, then how are you going to compete? All you got to do is what we call high grading or selective mining. But again, when we get to Acelor Mittal, we're going to go into details on that. So
So that concentrator is it legal to do? Is it almost like you and the way I understand it in my mind here is you go and get a oil. You make your palm butter, and because it doesn't reach that level, then you add water to it to make it plenty. That's how I'm understanding it.
Okay, let me explain the concentrator before we get even to Acelor Mittal.
Okay? Yeah, please.
A concentrator is like a magician. All right. The concentrator is between the mine and the market. So you bring 37%, you bring 40%, you feed it into the concentrator. It has to have the capacity to crush the iron ore, to separate the waste, the good thing from the waste, the They got pelletization, they got concentrating, some do it by gravitational, floating, magnetic, all of that. When it's finished doing all of that, the 37 or 40% tonnage that you send in there will at the end be upgraded to 65%.
Okay.
So it takes something in, it works on it, that its job to upgrade, to bring it up to the market demand. Okay, without a concentrator, now you understand a little bit. Without a concentrator, it's a waste of time.
It's a waste. All right.
Okay.
From the time I was a little boy, or even my father was a young boy, we've been hearing about mining companies, but I've not heard about gold company or diamond company. Why is that? It looked like an individual and private people mining the other one, but when it comes to, is it because we don't have enough gold, enough diamond, and we have plenty iron ore? That's why we have concessional companies doing this, and for iron ore, for diamond and gold, we don't have companies. Why is it that?
Well, you see, Liberia started with iron ore exploration, and just watch this. The price of iron ore is in direct proportion to war. So in the late 40s, 50s, when you saw all those companies coming here, the war, we had just gone through war, and iron ore is needed for iron production, steel raw, whatever you think, you know. So if you are talking about diamond and gold, they have always been there, but they have not been on a larger scale. Okay. It is recently that I heard that there was an exploration, there's an underground gold mine in a big mountain, but people have not been concentrating on that. So companies are now coming in to explore and see the possibility. But gold and diamond have been local miners. You know, they're doing it, and some don't register. You see, so there are a lot of things that go on. When our assistant minister of mine will put some things in place, but it is not a large scale, so you will not hear much about it. But it's going on. We have gold, we have diamond mining going on in Liberia.
And what's the difference between mining for iron ore and mining for gold or diamond?
The big difference is the way of extraction, because you have to explore in both ways. You have to explore. And the one major difference is the capital outlay. Like I said, one person cannot open an iron ore mine, but one person can go to Lancer Mine, get an exploration license for about a year and get a mining claim. And he can work in it, he can explore. And when he sees that it's economical, he comes back for mining license and he has his little claim. It could be 25 by 25, 25 by 50. Every year in March, April, people come down to the Ministry of Lands and Mine to register their mining claims. So the data is there. It's a lot of people all over the country doing mining. They have mining claims. So it's not well known because it's not a big company, but it's going on.
Right, and that mining claim is for iron ore or diamond, not. I mean, it's for gold or diamond, not iron ore.
Yeah, no. You can't take mining claim for iron ore. You have to have a concession agreement.
So for those one, what is required for that mining claim? Money?
Yeah, you pay the government every year for the claim. The amount is there. You come in. When you come in first, you come for exploration license. You know, because you suspect that something is there, you get your exploration license for about a year. And after a year, if you figure out that you still need to explore, you extend your exploration license. But then at the end, if you feel that you can do economic mining there, whether that gold or diamond, then you apply for mining license. And they got different classes.
Right.
So yes, people are doing it on a low scale.
You know? And what is required? You should be a Liberian. You should have certain money in the bank. You should what do you need?
Yes, you don't need any kind of money. You have to be a Liberian, right? Or you pay for your exploration license. That's all. There's no big requirement. You see what I mean? There's no big requirement. If you want to go, you go today, you want to explore Bokon Jide, you feel that something is there, you apply to the mining agent, they give you paper, you come to Lancer Mine and apply for it. And you pay for your license, but it is exploration license. It is not mining. Okay? When you do your sampling or exploration and you feel that something is there, then you come back and convert your exploration license to mining license. They got different classes. But all you need to do is have the desire to do it and be a Liberian and then pay whatever is required.
Right. And that's a whole new thing we can get into because from the time my father was a young boy, our era border Bokonjire, and they have been
Yes.
gold mining going on there forever. So
Yep.
I don't know who's there, what they gave, and how does the government or the country benefit from those kind of individual mining? What is there for the government? Is it just paying for the license?
Yeah, after you pay for the license and you apply for your mining license, they got other royalty, they got other things you pay to the government.
Okay.
Okay, but here again, the thing is, someone can get a exploration license and he's doing mining. So this is where the mine inspector has to inspect, because the man could pay for his exploration license, right? And
Right.
then he's doing mining. If there's no inspection, because we know the difference, exploration and mining. When we get on the site, we know whether you're mining or you're exploring. So these are people responsible, mine inspectors, to keep this going. Otherwise, yes, the government going to lose some money if the man is mining under an exploration license.
Thank you. My last question before we go to
Mm-hmm.
iron ore mining is
Okay.
what are some of the active mining companies currently in Liberia, and what are they mining, if you know?
Well, what I know, okay, I heard about the gold mine in B Mountain. Okay, I haven't read much about it, but I just heard about it. But I know we have the Acelor Mittal, and there's some company in Bong Mine. I think it's a Chinese company, but I haven't read much about it. So that two active mine, iron ore mine that I know about, but I've followed the activities of Acelor Mittal, AML.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, this is Focus on Liberia. We are discussing revenue generation and job creation in the mining sector. My guest is Dr. Carmah Mulabah. He's a former mining engineer for most of these companies in Liberia and also from the Lands and Mines Ministry. Dr. Mulabah, let's go to iron ore and
Okay.
iron ore mining. Give me a little overview of iron. I know we have a long history of iron ore mining in Liberia. How has it been? From the time we started hearing about these mining companies till now. Give me some history here.
Okay. It started in the 50s or late 40s. We had a Liberian mining company, LMC. We have the National Iron Ore Company, then Bong Mine, then Lamco. It all starts with exploration and capital. And Liberian government has not had this capital. So it will expatriate foreign investors who come with the capital, and then they do the exploration. That means they make sure they determine the ore body, and through geological exploration and sampling and all of that, they determine that it's economical at that time, that if you mine this ore based on the market price of iron ore, of the iron product, we can make a profit. So after the geological exploration and it's determined that it's an economic mineral deposit, iron ore deposit, then we'll begin to drill, make benches, and then we'll do sampling. That's where the grade control comes in. You see, then we'll begin to drill on a smaller area, in 25 by 25, deep down, maybe 20 feet, and get our samples. We'll do the analysis with the samples. And once we get the sample, we'll plot these samples on a map depending on the Fe content. So you remember I told you about cutoff grade. So you have, if the content is 47, you write it down and different color code, maybe 47 to 50 is green, all of that. You have different maps. And you have this area, you have the map of the area. And based on your cutoff grade, you determine where the waste is and where the ore is. And you instruct the foreman to take the ore from here and send it to the crusher, concentrator, and get rid of the waste, send it to the waste dump. You see, so depending on your cutoff grade, you can mine the benches, and after one bench, you do another bench. After one bench, you do another bench. If you went to one of these iron ore mines, you see things like staircases, like steps.
Yeah.
Those are the different benches that have been mined back. The mining and go back, mining and go back. As one level finishes, the samplers begin to dig for sampling of the different parts of the ore, and then you go through the same process. You plot it, you qualify it, and then you send it to the crusher. The crusher will process it, and then you get the ore. And then you have this area, you have the map of the area. And based on your cutoff grade, you determine where the waste is and where the ore is. And you instruct the foreman to take the ore from here and send it to the crusher, concentrator, and get rid of the waste, send it to the waste dump. You see, so depending on your cutoff grade, you can mine the benches. And after one bench, you do another bench. After one bench, you do another bench. If you went to one of these iron ore mines, you see things like staircases, like steps. Those are the different benches that have been mined back. and then you go again and mark the ore and waste, and so that's how it goes. So that's how the mining go, and in the end, now as you mine, you also have what we call R&D, which is research and development. You have to have a geological department exploring more ore so that you can extend the life of the mine. But the conventional mining companies, all the time I worked in Monrovia, Liberia, with this company, they had a crusher and they had a concentrator. Never in my life have I seen an iron ore mining company operating without a concentrator. Okay, but we can get to that.
I know you're going somewhere with that.
Okay.
I also understand that in iron ore mining process, you have the conventional method and the non-conventional method. Explain, please.
The conventional method is what I explained. You do your mapping, drilling, you map, and then you color the map, and you have your shovels, and you direct the former. This is waste, this is ore. The waste go this way, the ore go to the crusher. Okay, that's fine. The non-conventional one is when there is no concentrator. When there's nothing to concentrate the low-grade ore, you are forced to mine the high grade. And so they call that direct shipment, direct ore shipment. In Acelor Mittal, the direct shipment, maybe you heard it. You scoop it up, you send it down to Buchanan, put it on a ship. You don't need to do any treatment. It goes straight. So there's no concentrator. It doesn't need concentrator because you're mining high grades. So for example, if the market is asking for 65% iron, so all you will do, you look for those areas that are 65 or more, and you mine it. You don't treat it. You send it straight to the ship, and they take it away. There's a danger in that, but that's a non-conventional mining method. That's what we're talking about.
So let's go to Acelor Mittal.
Okay.
You know, my sister lived in Yakipa, from 1971 all the way to the war. So I'm familiar with Yakipa and Lamco and this. So I understand Acelor Mittal replaced Lamco.
Okay.
So Acelor Mittal, tell me, what does this company do? I'm assuming they are mining iron ore, but is there anything else?
Yeah, Acelor Mittal mining iron ore. First of all, I have researched this company. It's a very, very good company. They have the technology. So I give them praises for that. They are worldwide. They have the technology to do exactly what Bowman was doing and beyond. Okay. But what they're doing now in Lamco is selective mining without a concentrator. Okay. So let me explain more about that. For example, you have high grade ore of 55 or 60, and you have low grade ore, which is about 45. Okay. Now, what you can do there, instead of just mining the high grade ore, you need to mine the low grade, the cutoff grade up, including the high grade. You send it down to a blending bed. Okay. That's going to homogenize the content of the Fe content. Then you feed that into the crusher, the gyratory crusher that will do the size reduction, and that will feed the concentrator that will now do the magic to raise it to the market demand, 65%, pellets or concentrate. Okay. But in doing that, you are using low grade ore at the same time you're using the high grade ore to blend it. You know what? You know what they're going to do, Dennis?
No.
They're going to extend the life of the mine, because if you just keep scooping the high grade, it will soon finish, because everywhere is not high grade.
No.
So you keep doing it, the mine will close. Now, Acelor Mittal is supposed to close in 2030 because they start 2005. They said it will be 25 years. My question is, without a concentrator, how did you determine how long you're going to mine? How long the mine is going to last? My guess is concentrator was out of the equation. So I'm saying if Mittal AML should build a concentrator today, and when they do that, we're going to extend the life of the mine. It's going to go beyond what they expect, because we're going to use the low grade ore, mix it with the high grade, put it into the concentrator. It is upgraded to the same 65% that they just taking and sending. So you increase the lifespan of the mine, because you're considering low grade plus high grade, blender, concentrator, upgraded to 65 to the market. But right now, they're taking the system, something, and straight to the market. So we are going to lose because if they continue, even when the concentrator is built, there will be no more high grade to mix with a low grade to upgrade it. So we are losing revenue by letting them continue with this non-concentrator, non-conventional method. And I know that I have some friends who are in higher position and they know about this. I am surprised that they sat down in 2005 to allow this company to continue mining, and they're going to close 2030. So they'll be mining for 20 something years or 15 plus without a concentrator. So what happened to the low grade ore when they leave? We're going to close again because there will be no concentrator to do it. And I want to know now that if they build this concentrator, what is the capacity, the capability of this concentrator? Then it has to lower the grade. You have to come down from the 47, whatever low grade, come down to 35 or something. Then we increase the iron ore capacity, the volume, and the lifespan of the mine will be increased. Children will be able to go to school for a longer time under the sponsorship of the company. Medical treatment for the workers. The workers don't have to worry about being laid off because the iron ore coming to finish.
Yeah.
That is a function of the concentrator.
Oh, all right. So 2 questions here. First of all, the geology is able to determine where is the high grade ore and where is the low grade. So you are able to determine that. So you know where. So in the case of Acelor Mittal, because of this non-conventional mining method with our concentrator, they are only taking the high grade.
Yes.
And what does this concentrator? What does it? Is it because it's expensive? That's why they are not using it, or what is the reason behind it?
You see, I can only say like putting the cart before the horse. This company should not have taken 1 ounce of iron ore of iron ore from the ground without a concentrator. I don't know how it happened. I'm baffled. This has never happened before in Liberia. So even those people before us who we said maybe they were not highly educated. Look at Bon Mine. There was a concentrator built before they started. National Iron Ore Company, there was a washing plant.
Right.
Bombing Hill, there was. So why this one? Why? That's the technical question.
What would be the reason for which a company like Acelor Mittal that has the equipment, the technology, will want to go without a concentrator? What would be some of the reason?
It is why it's in a concession agreement, MDA. If they convince you that they can start without a concentrator and you agree, you can hold them responsible.
But why would they say that? Why would they want to start without a concentrator?
Well, I don't know. What I'm saying here is somewhere someone dropped the ball. The thing is, those who are responsible to review this concession or MDA, the very start in 2005, someone should have notified or someone should have alarmed that where is the concentrator? But they said they were bidding in phases. Since 2005, this is what? 15 plus 2. I mean, what, 17 years, right?
Yeah.
And they've been mining high-grade ore since then, right? So even if they build a concentrator now, what lower grade iron ore is it going to cater to?
So let me understand this, because Lamco was in that area for a long time. So is it the same place that Lamco used to mine the ore? Is it the same place they are mining, or they are somewhere else? Is it a different mountain now?
No, it's the same area. Lamco left because of the war. So all they had to do was to look at the geological data and locate the high grade ore and low grade, whatever. They already had the information. It was not something that they needed. You see, like Bon Mine left because of the war, and then the Chinese, when they came, these data are there. They can get it. They can buy it, or they can get it from the government. Whatever. Bon Mine was supposed to close in 2015. So we left 1990. So whatever we left in the ground was still there. Our reserve was still there. So all they needed to do was locate it, get our maps, and then start mining. No problem with that. My question is, when they started in 2005, somebody was giving a timeline, be definite about the concentrator. And we need it now.
In that case, who's responsible for that? Is it Lands, Mines, and Energy Ministry, or who is supposed to see to it that is done?
I will have to read the concession agreement, because no company can do something like this without having reason for it. But the Minister of Lands and Mines is the chief for all mining areas. So someone there should have raised the issue. whether it was raised or not. The problem is we have this economic problem now. And I came to give solution or advice on how we can resolve this before it is too late.
Yeah, let's go to that. Because first of all, before we get to how we can resolve this and how we can generate revenue and create jobs, I know that every mining area come with some of these sometimes disaster or some of the negative impact because of the mining. What are some of the things that can happen in that area? And some of them
Oh,
probably are happening now. So let's look at the negative impact of this
okay.
kind of, especially the method they are using.
Yeah, environmental problem, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me give you a practical example so we can understand this. In 1982, October 6th, there was a landslide in Monroe. They called Norway landslide.
Yeah, no way
Right?
can.
Norway can.
Yeah.
Norway can.
Mm.
Right? Okay. So when we were in Norway, I was there that night.
Oh, really?
I worked the shift. I was the head of I was the chief, the engineer for that shift that night, the mining engineer. And the very hill that this thing happened on was on H Hill. I left from there at 10 p.m. Some of those boys that work with me on that shift, they live in Norway. And not knowing that was the last goodbye, they were telling me we close the shift. So this is something that I was there when it happened. And it was a mining disaster because, one, someone did not inspect the mine. Right now, it became a political issue. But the thing is, they had a waste dump somewhere above Norway camp. You know, the waste dump where the iron ore that you don't need, you throw it to the waste dump. This waste dump was about 15 or whatever years old. And then under the waste dump, when the washing plant washes the ore and upgrades it, we'll have something called tailing. So there was a tailing pond coming towards Norway. And to make it very short, somewhere it was a heavy rainy season that year. And somewhere we heard there was an earthquake somewhere, and that triggered the loose iron ore waste dump. And it went down and splashed into the tailing pond, and that went over to Norway and caused a disaster. So mining has its environmental problems. And if people who used to go to Mano River, you can see that the river always was kind of brown. That river, Mano River coming from the mine going down, it was always brown because the company was not monitored. They let the wastewater go into the river, and that affected the fauna and flora of the area. People had to dig well to survive. So mining has a problem. And recently there was some cyanide problem at some mine in Bon County. So mining has a disaster problem. So that's why you need people with expertise in environmental management to hold these people their feet to the fire. Because once the concession agreement is made, they go by the concession agreement, but who is monitoring? Okay. When I used to work with Bon Mine, people used to come to me and say, okay, you say you're a mining engineer, you're working in the mine, and we hear your money go diamond from the mine. I mean, I laugh. But look, if you read a mining concession agreement for Bon Mine, they told them iron ore and any other mineral. So even if they did that, they had a right to do it. So who are the people looking at these concession agreements, these mineral development agreements? That should be in the primary interest of our people. That is a problem. So environmental issue, yes. Mining issue, yes. But all of these can be followed and curtailed if we take the concession agreement and say, this is what you agree to and this is what you must do. Why have you built a concentrator? Tell me why. You see?
Thank you. Let's go to how we can fix it now. Or first, let's start with revenue generation, which is our main topic for tonight, job creation.
Okay.
So how do we create revenue, especially when we come to Acelor Mittal and job creation for Acelor Mittal? How will we do that?
Okay, good. The first thing we do is to make sure that the concentrator is built. If the concentrator is built and is able to upgrade from whatever cutoff grade they have to the market, we increase the ore reserve on the mine. The thing they throw away as waste now will not be thrown away anymore. You see what I mean? Instead of high grading, they will be now bringing the old grade down to blend, extend the life of the mine. And then what happened? When you extend the life of the mine, you extend the royalty that they pay to the government. That's revenue generation. You extend the employment of the workers. So they don't have to worry for another 4, 5, 10, or 15 years of employment. You extend the medical facilities, you extend the schools, okay? And then when you build a concentrator, you need manpower. It's not small manpower, thousands or maybe hundreds. Then you have the blending bed. You need people to man the blending bed. Then you need more haul packs. Haul packs are those big trucks that can bring the iron ore down. It will increase the number of haul packs because you have more ore to bring down. So all of these will increase jobs, job security, royalty, and other benefits for the government. Government gets more money than she's getting now. Medical facility for people, when they get sick, they don't have to run down to Monrovia and depend on the government. Education, send the education from high school to college. Okay, then what happened? All these WIAC and all these things will go away for those people with their children, thousands of people. So the economic effect, the economic benefit we can reap if we have this thing in place. That's what I'm talking about.
So you have experience in this area, and I know you know some friends who are there. Do we have people with the knowledge and expertise to make sure these things are done?
Yes, we do. Unfortunately, there's a professional group, or we are all Liberian here. We have expertise in environmental, mining, geology, telecommunication, civil engineering. These are all Liberians with over 25 years of practical working experience in the US. And they are anxious and willing because if we don't do this now, who's going to do it? It's not us. So these are consulting opportunities that we can give to the Liberian government. And what we need actually in Liberia is not a lot of concession agreement and this and that. Who is to hold them responsible?
Yeah.
A body that is dedicated, that love Liberians, that want to hold this company responsible. You say you're going to build a concentrator in 2 years. Why is it 22 years now? Why is it 15 years? It just go by in phases. But if you have an independent consulting body, Liberian, who are professionally trained, when I go to Acelor Mittal right now, and I see them hard grading, I will ask them questions, they will know what I'm talking about, and so they will come to their senses. But if you just go, you don't know anything much about money, you just go, you have conversation and thing. Of course, you can't blame you because you don't have the expertise. Okay, if you put me on the mind, Acelor Mittal mind right now, I can tell them 10 things that's wrong. But we need cooperation, consultancy agreement. Government, we can do this. This is possible. It's right. Even though they've gone almost 15 plus years, it is still possible that we can intervene and extend the life of that mine so that people can have better future.
Has there been any attempt for you to let the government or whoever is responsible know, either through phone calls or op-ed or direct messaging, whatever, as you or any other person or a group, especially those of you with experience who have worked with this company, what have you done to make sure that this is arrested earlier?
Well, since 1982, we've been fighting this war here. I call it war, fighting this for our people. Yeah. I started my professional career in 1982 at National Iron Ore Company. They had the same problem there. They put the ore in the truck comes to the crusher. There's no blending. We asked the question. They say, oh, you don't have much experience, you're just starting. But here I am, I'm back with the same question. I'm asking different question now. And you can't tell me I don't have experience. We need to focus and give the technocrats opportunity to advance this government, to advance suggestions that can better, serve our people. That's what we need.
In Liberia, they say anything you don't know is older than you.
Sure.
So maybe the government doesn't know, and those of you who have the knowledge, what are you able to do?
Well, I got some friends in higher places. I'm not going to call names. I've been trying my best to contact them, say, look, what's going on? Okay. But the opportunity has not come where we can talk. But I'm sure someone then listening to me, And we need to do this not just for group of people, but for the Liberian people. You see, iron ore is non-renewable. When it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
So why don't you maximize what's taken from you? It's not much to do, but just ask them to build a concentrator. That's all we need. And once we get that, revenue generation and job creation will follow, and you will see that it will explode, it will expand. This is a fact. We've seen this before, so it can work. We've seen it in other countries, so we're coming back to give this suggestion to the powers that be.
So for Acelor Mittal, for instance, it is cheaper for them to do this without a concentrator. So that's why they are taking advantage. I'm speculating.
Yeah, I mean, anybody will try to cut costs, right?
Yeah.
But you who own the iron ore is in Liberia. He's coming to mine. You also have to look out for yourself. And how can you look out for yourself? As gather expertise in this area. So look at what they're doing. Is it right? It's not just your meet and sign concession agreement, extend the MDA, everybody shake hand and go. The technocrats can look at that and say, no, I've been looking at this thing for years. Since 2000, whenever they've been in operation, I've been asking the question, but there's no concentrator. No concentrator. Why? That was the first question to be asked. I'm still asking that question today, and I'm happy you brought it up. Maybe they will hear me now, but you need those kind of people to advise the government, you know.
Have you looked at the MDA to see that it was stipulated that we will not have concentrator, or we're going to do it in phases? Do you know if that is in the MDA?
No, no MDA will not put in concentrator. What I understand is they started with the hope of building a concentrator. That was the plan. They will build a concentrator. But since 2005, if you went 5 years, I can understand, because it's not just easy to build a concentrator. A very capable concentrator is expensive. Well, but you go 10, you go 15, or 17 now. So what is the excuse? Someone has to say, why are you not doing this? You're supposed to do this. And this can be done by an independent consulting firm. That's their job. That is what they need to do. And they must know what they are doing. We have this expertise. Like I said, we have a geologist that can stand over there. Why are you not doing R&D? Why are you not doing research to expand the mine? You're just mining what you see. We'll soon get out of here. So you see, this is what we're talking about.
And government of Liberia, if you are listening, you need to talk to Acelor Mittal. There are people here who can ask the right question, but if you don't know and you don't want to know, then we are in big problem.
Yeah, Acelor Mittal is a very good company. In fact, she can be a captive mine right here in Liberia. Okay, a captive mine is a mine that consumes what it produces. All right, you can have a blast furnace right in Liberia to produce iron. Then they don't have to ship this thing all over there. But these are all agreements that must be enshrined in the MDA. If you don't put it there, you can't ask them to do it. I heard some folks say the other day, well, we can't do our in we can have blast furnace. But if you don't have blast furnace agreement in your MDA, he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. And a mine that's captive can last longer because she consumes what she produces. That's why Boma was not going to close easily, because Boma consumed what she produced. And just to let you know today, Boma was paying her employee 13 months for 12 months work. Do you believe that?
Yeah, I never even heard.
Yes, they pay you in December, they give you 2 checks, 13 months salary for working for 12 months. That's how good they were, and that's how they were consuming their own stuff. Boma didn't have to go on the market and sell iron ore. They took it straight to the steel plant. And this company, Acelor Mittal, has the capability. They are doing it somewhere else. They are doing captive mining somewhere. They can produce their own thing, and they're consuming their own thing too. They able. So they can't be losing like that, like goes to sell on the market, banjo. No. They are very good company. They are capable of doing this. I've made research. Only 2 mines are read about them that are doing what Liberia is doing right now. Fines. All the other mines, they have concentrate, pellet, concentrate, pellet. And when you see concentrate and pellet, it means there is a concentrator. When you see only fines, they are scooping, they are high grading, they don't have a concentrator.
The question is always being asked, oh, why are they shipping it? Why can't they process it here?
Yeah.
Right. There's always a question there. What is stopping any iron ore company from processing in Liberia? Is it a will? Is it what? Is it money? What is it?
Well, that needs a deeper study, but I think it will be because it is not negotiated. Nobody attempted to do it, to say, okay, why don't you process it here? Some will argue that they already have their own, steel plant. They already have their own equipment overseas that can do it for them. So to duplicate here will be cost. Okay, but when a company can newly, that's what you need to be talking about, because they are anxious to get the iron ore, right? You haven't had any concession agreement, nothing is written. That's when you're supposed to ask those questions. Okay, we want you to produce a steel here so that we can have the power to sell to our neighbors. Okay, so the blast furnace must be included in the concession agreement. If they agree on that, you can hold their feet to the fire. But if the company start mining and in the middle you say, why don't you build a blast furnace? It's going to be too expensive because they did not anticipate that.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, this is Focus on Liberia. We are in an interview with Dr. Carmah T. Mulabah. He's a former mining engineer at Bong Mines. We are discussing revenue generation and job creation in Liberia in the mining sector. And our special case here is on Acelor Mittal. Have we been able to quantify in dollar and cents what we are losing as a result of what Acelor Mittal is doing?
That can be done if I know the cutoff grade. But right now, the cutoff grade is the grade is scooping. You see, so because if you tell me you're sending direct ship ore and 65%, so anything 65 up that means your cutoff grade is 65%. Okay, so we cannot know how much we are losing unless they build a concentrator and give me the capacity of the concentrator. What can the concentrator do? Can it bring from 45% up to 65 that you want? If they give me that, then we can check the old grade calculation. We can tell you what we have lost. We can't get it back, but we have lost that. But what we can do is when they build a concentrator, then we ensure that they blend the ore, increase the ore reserve by using lower grade, and then go through the concentrator, and then that way extend the life of the mine beyond the 20, 30, what they're talking about. And then again, increase the capacity of our people to earn more money, more medical care, more schools, and all of that. And some of these burden and pressure will be off the government for a couple of years.
If you are listening and want to join the conversation, the number to call is 605-313-6004. The code is 791403. At this time, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to read comments and take calls. So stay there. We're going to be right back.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jah.
At Focus on Liberia, we educate, we elevate, and promote all things Liberia. Here, we talk about all the issues. This is not one-dimensional. We discuss politics, we discuss education, mining, business, finance, literature, history. We talk it all right here on Focus on Liberia. Dr. Mulabah, let me get some input from our viewers here. William Dunbar say, William Dunbar watching to get educated in the mining sector. Good evening, Mr. Jah and guest.
Good evening, William.
William King said, Dennis, once again, you outdo yourself. What a great guest. Dr. Carmah is spot on. Mining exploration has huge costs and it is not guaranteed to return the investment. it is very risky, and Liberia rather have a company like Acelor Mittal take that risk. Therefore, they would naturally want the rewards. And Dr. Mulabah, before I continue with the comment, sometimes it looks like, it appears to me that we are so anxious for these companies. It's like we are giving them too many incentives. We're saying, you are doing us a favor by coming. So take whatever you want. Does it appear like that to you?
I think it's a brown envelope.
Okay.
Everybody know what I'm talking about. Look, the man who's coming to you to mine, he knows exactly what you should ask. If you don't ask it, he's free. And they take advantage of the people, the caliber of people who send to negotiate. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The strength of your negotiation is depending on the caliber and the know-how of the people you send to negotiate these concession agreements. All right. I can't blame anyone if he has no exposure to money, no geology knowledge, and he's heading the committee to go discuss this concession agreement. He will only say yes, yes, yes. Let it go. But if you got the experts on this,
yeah,
they will ask the right question. They will ask the right question, and it will be sticky. Okay. I assure you, Dennis, if the Liberian government really serious, the issue of Acelor Mittal is not that late. Even though it's late, but it's not that late, because when we install the concentrator, we're going to expand the life of the mine. We're going to make sure they do R&D, which is research and development, geological exploration, to increase the ore reserve. So that 2030 you're talking about, that figure, the calculator, I don't agree with it. Because without a concentrator, you can't tell me that. But if you did it without a concentrator, then if you include the concentrator, then you're going to expand the life of the mine beyond 2030. Because you're taking lower grade ore, upgraded to your market price. So these are free technical advice I'm giving tonight. And I want people to take it serious, because I'm very concerned about the mining sector. And one more thing I can tell you, Dennis, all these mines that have closed, they all have cut-off grade. National ore, we have 47.5. Now, science and technology has improved. Okay, we don't even need heavy investment to recoup those waste we have in all those waste dumps. Okay, because all we need is a high power concentrator, and then we resample those waste dumps and just scoop it up, send it to the blending bag, and concentrate it. So the old thing we threw away can become mine again.
Yeah.
And then we'll get more money from the old mine, Lamco, and not Lamco because Acelor Mittal is there, but LMC, Bomber, where we can take it back from the Chinese because they're doing nothing there. National Iron Ore Company. These are things, they are lying there.
Right.
Build the concentrator and make money. It already scoop out, it already mine. We need to sample it. That's it.
You I think I forgot. When we say cut-off grade 47, what is this cut-off grade?
Okay. The iron ore percentage, 45%, when you sample the area, 45, 50. The cutoff grade is that grade that when you feed the concentrator with it, it's going to produce the Fe content that the market wants.
Okay. And Fe is iron.
Iron, yeah, the iron content. Let's say the iron say I'm buying 65% iron, Fe. So if you give me 65% Fe, I will buy your product. Okay, so then you have to work back. This is where I'm saying. So you work back to your concentrator and find out if I give what should I give my concentrator to treat it and give me 65. Then
take it from 45 to 65.
Yeah, the concentrator specification will tell you what percentage it can upgrade. The minimum percentage it can upgrade to 65. That is the minimum percentage that the concentrator is telling you. That's what is going to be the cutoff grade on your mine site.
Okay.
That means don't go beyond this grade. If you go beyond this grade, you're not going to make profit. That's what the cutoff grade means.
Right. Okay. Because if the cutoff grade 47,
yes,
then you go do 30, the concentrator can help you.
Then we're going to fire the mine superintendent because he's not supposed to allow anything below the cutoff grade to be sent to the crusher.
Yeah.
That's why you need a strong person who is there watching the shovel, watching the truck driver, make sure this is waste, take it to the waste dump. This is all, take it to the, you don't just leave them by themselves. And that person
we are so focused on the, how they call it, the money Acelor Mittal is given to Bon County, Basso, and Nimba, right? It's like this development is like we are so focused on it, instead of demanding those things, we are looking at that money. Tokpa Koye say, what are the different type of minerals that are being explored in Liberia? You know, what type of minerals are present in Liberia and which one are being mined currently?
I think we talk about iron
Yeah.
ore, we have diamond, gold. There are many others that we haven't, read.
Yeah, magnesium, all those things, because they all got everything in it.
Yeah, magnesium can be there, but it's economical to mine it. You have to pay cost. Now,
Yeah.
if you spend so much money to get it, you get less money for it, then it's not economical. So a deposit can exist, but it's not economical at the time.
When we were in Yakipa, I mean, I visited. I didn't live there for a long time. They say when they explode, when they blast,
yeah,
then the top people, they will be the first to go there. So when they finish, before other people go there. So the speculation was when they go there first, they got some other minerals like diamond that they will find. So when they finish taking it, then that's the time they tell everybody to go there.
The same story was in Burma. But again, as I said, even if that happened and there were gold and diamond, the concession agreement that was passed by the host at that time said Burma can mine iron ore and any other mineral. And if you attack Burma, they will bring the concession agreement to you, even though they're not doing it. But if they were doing it, you attack them, they show you the concession agreement, which is in fine print.
Yeah.
But only technical people can read that and raise the issue, if you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dempster Yala say, are there safety measures across the mining sector to safeguard against the kind of disaster that occurred in Norway camp in Mano River in the 80s? Or let's use Acelor Mittal, for instance. Do they have safety measures?
Well, I will have to visit Acelor Mittal to see what safety measure they have. But what he's referring to is a very good question. Because in Mano River, we had a safety officer who never said he didn't step in any kind of safety school. He was selected because of connection. So you can see that we had a disaster, right? If this man was qualified enough, he could have determined that you shouldn't put a waste dump above a tailing pond, and you shouldn't send a tailing pond above the town. But he was just a safety officer for the namesake. And also, the Minister of Lands and Mines at the time dropped the ball. The only thing after the disaster then said we should plant trees. After the fact, you don't do inspection, regular inspection, they don't. So the general manager, they will get doing what they want to do. You see? So yes, we have to have safety measure. And even now, the Mano River, the LMC, they call them bombing holes, whatever it is, those places need to be secured.
Yeah.
They are all dangerous. No land reclamation policy. If the people mine here, according to the mining law, you have to do land reclamation. You try to bring back the surface of the land as close as to what it was. Again, let's mine. Are you hearing me? These are things that needs to be done. These are things that need to be done. Safety, land reclamation, inspecting the different mining concession, the mining claims, making sure that there's no loophole that makes the government to lose money. This country is rich in terms of mineral. The decision to make sure that it is done properly is what is lacking.
Thank you. Let's take our first call as we continue with more comments. Caller, you're live. Your name and where you calling from?
Thank you, Mr. John. This is Elvis calling from Minnesota.
Welcome, Elvis. Comments or question?
Yeah, a quick question. Thank you again to the guests. What are some of the biggest, let's say, concession that the government made, in the Acelor Mittal deal that they made with them, or opportunity that was lost in terms of something that we could have benefited as a country the most, that Dr. Mulabah sees, in which the government had a good opportunity to really create jobs for the citizenry, and they missed that opportunity. So if there's a specific concession that we could have, gotten from the Acelor Mittal that we missed, I just want to know if there's multiples. I would like to hear that too. Thank you again, Mr. Jack, for taking my call.
Thank you, Elvis.
Thank you for your question, Elvis. There are multiple, but the main thing is the concentrator. On day one, before they scoop out the first ounce of iron ore, they should have insisted You're going to build a concentrator. If you don't have it now, when? Give me a timeline. And then get experts, people who know much about it, to make sure that they do it. But we've gone 15, 17 years now, whatever, 22, nothing. And they still scooping the high-grade ore. Eventually, if we don't check this, soon they will tell you we can't mine because the ore is no longer economical because they finish high-grading. What they're doing now in Acelor Mittal, they are hopping from place to place because the ore body is not homogeneous to be 65%, big lot.
Yeah.
It's in different spots. So they move from one area to another, I know about that. Well, you have to do that if you have grading. Okay, that's selective mining. That's not conventional mining. That's dangerous. That's not in the economic interest of this country.
Wow. Let's take more comments here. Honorable Larry P. Yankwe, that's a former legislator of Nimba County. A former legislator from Nimba County is watching from Minnesota. William Domase, Mr. Jab, before 2005, there was some level of governance, not that personal gain and family affair Ellen instituted throughout 12 years. This one from Mikey Manuse, so why you did not make that known to the government of Liberia? He's asking you. See, all the things you're talking here now, why you didn't tell the government? We always get those kind of questions.
Yeah,
fine.
That's a very good question. I've been singing this song since 1982. And I've been trying to get to Acelor Mittal. I did so many things. I have my friend in high places. I'm not going to call their name, but they are in places where they can effect this particular change. So many attempts have been made. They don't answer my call. It's no problem. Maybe they're too busy. But that's why I'm here tonight to say the big problem right now with Acelor Mittal is the concentrator. Build the concentrator and Liberia will be happy.
You're making me want to see how this concentrator here it look like.
You can Google it.
Yeah. So
it's like a magic box. You put something in low and it comes up big. Just look at it that way. You put low grade, it does its magic. It produces pellets or concentrate or fines with the required percentage of Fe iron content for the market. That's what it does.
Let's look at this question. Tokpa Kwe, what gives the blue lake in Bong Mines its blue color? Is that water from the lake safe as it is being used now? Who using it and for what?
Well, I saw the blue lake. It has to be analyzed to find out what caused the color. But that's an old mine site. It is very dangerous though because you don't know what's under there. You can have old equipment, other stuff. So, if they really want that lake, they could suck out everything out of there and then clean the bottom because it could be old caterpillar, it could be old trucks under there. And I see people trying to get on there and ride around, but it needs to be pumped out. If you want to make it a recreational, look what under it, remove what's there, and then refill it, and then you should be able to be fine on that.
Dr. Mulabah, does it look familiar?
Yeah, that's one of them. That's a kiln. That's a kiln there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like that might be the gyratory crusher that's feeding there. Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah. It concentrates. Okay, just let me make it very simple. You have something that say a concentrated juice, right?
Yeah.
It has more. It has been reduced, okay, to something good. I say that's what the concentrator does. It takes in something that's not too good. It produces something that is good but sellable on the market for you. You see, Acelor Mittal will be wonderful if they did that. They themselves will benefit because the life of the mine will be extended, and so they don't have to lose on the rate of return because if they continue with this, they are going to leave very, very soon. And then what's going to happen? Everybody runs down to Monrovia for a job, right?
Right.
When you should not have done so. That's my point here. Because I've seen it before. I've seen it when Lampico closed. I've seen it when Monrovia closed. It became a pressure on the government. I don't want this to happen again.
Demso Yala say, are there any serious health risks associated with mining? He continues, not only for the mine worker, but also for their families and the inhabitants of that area in general.
Yes, there is. Surface mine is better because you're breathing the air, but underground mine is another story. Yes, there is a health, like I said before, Monroe was mining iron ore over there. The waste was being dumped into the Monroe itself. And from Monroe going all the way down, the road was red. So that means the fish that were in there were being killed. The people couldn't do anything. They had to dig well and that it affected the health of the people. But again, that was it. In those days, if you said something, either you don't have experience or you're talking something you don't understand, you're just starting in mining. So what you know? So yes, there is health benefit, health risk associated with mining, like the Sana situation that happened in Bon County. It went into the drinking water. Okay, so where's the environmental protection agency? I know they went there, but you need someone, you need people who are really dedicated to this thing and they can hold their feet to the fire. You're supposed to have this here. Why you don't have it here? I need it here. You see, so, but if we just depend on bringing concession agreement to amend it, and after a few days, everybody talk about it, and then it's over.
Right. In fact, they brought it back. I think right now I talked to someone because we had a show here talking about their new agreement, the amendments they made, and that went to our legislature. And now somebody, before the show, I was researching and I asked someone who knows more about it. He said that agreement is in coma. So it's like this. Have you heard anything since they came up with the new? They had a amended agreement. Do you know where it is now?
Really, Dennis, those are not my concern. My concern is the amendment is to build the concentrator. Okay. Amended to build a concentrator. That's all we need. All the other one will follow. The amendment should say, Acelor, start building the concentrator now, because concentrator take years to build. It's not just assembling it. It takes years. So amendment, no amendment, Acelor Mittal, AML, just build the concentrator you promise. We don't want in phases and you money the ore. If they stop money, maybe they will build a concentrator soon.
Yeah.
But they continue to high grade. So it doesn't benefit them to spend money to build concentrator if they can high grade. But if you say, okay, you got up to next year to stop high grading, the concentrator must be available by next year at this time, and the expert will come and make sure, inspect it on a regular basis that you complete it, and then you start blending, and then increase the ore reserve for us in our generations. That mine can go for years. It's not 25 years. It's not 25 years. That 25 years is based on no concentrator, and they know what they're doing, and they know what they're talking about. But again, your concession agreement is where it is.
Tokwa say Acelor Mittal has blast furnace in South Africa and Spain.
Exactly.
The annual financial report says 60% from Liberia. Transfer pricing is how Acelor Mittal sell its ore to South Africa and Spain.
Okay. So if Acelor Mittal can have blast furnace in South Africa, send our ore there for pig iron, why are you going to do it here?
I know.
But again, depend on our agreement. You see, everything depends on the agreement you have with these people. You can't hold them responsible. Okay.
James Babier say, I'm a mining geologist and was hired by USAID as a mining specialist, seconded to NBC for compliance purpose between 2013 and 2015. What is NBC? Is that a radio station, the TV station, or a mining?
I think it's National Bureau of Concession, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Manu say, what really happened?
Hold on, please. James Babier.
Yeah.
He's a geologist, trained geologist. Okay. And we started working together in Monroe in 1982. He and I were the one asking these tough questions. Why are you not blending the ore and feeding the crusher? So he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
Bobby Nasser, so what's going on with the oil exploration? We let's talk on oil first. We'll go do oil later.
That's another topic.
My key man is what really happened between Lamco and the government that Lamco cannot return, and that's a good question. Bond mines and all these companies, why are they not coming back?
Well, I can speak for Bond Mine.
Okay.
Bond Mine was one of the world's top class mining company. People used to come from other countries, Germany, America, to do their PhD study in Bond Mine in mining. We had a concentrator, we had a crusher, We have advanced technology. They will take 37% Fe, pass it to the crusher for size reduction, send it to a blending bed for homogeneous mixture, feed the concentrator that will produce pellets, send it to the pellet plant, produce pellet and fines and concentrate 65% above. Can you imagine that? A concentrator takes in 37.5% minimum. Upgrades it to upgrades it to 65%. That was the only company in Africa that could do that. That's why Lamco were negotiating with Burma before the war to create a link so they can transfer some of their ore to Burma so Burma can use her pelletizing capability. So they were going to extend the life of Lamco by sending some lower grade ore to Burma. Okay, so you know, these are possibilities.
It will kill also.
Yeah, and Lamco, they see where they can't come back. Burma can't come back because the infrastructure was destroyed. I'll tell you something. The power generation plant in Burma was a ship engine. It wasn't using water. There was no hydro in Burma. It was a ship engine. We used to supply Monrovia with power. I kept the data that the green season, Liberia will give us power. Dry season like it is now, nobody used to feel it in Monrovia because Burma will send power to LEC.
Wow.
Yeah, well, power exchange. So whenever the dry season came, we came to the aid. When the rain season came, they pay us by even though we didn't need it anyway. Okay, a ship engine. The war took that ship engine to another country, but that's another story. You see, so Lamco can't come back because the infrastructure is not there. They damaged everything. Burma concentrated, everything was scrapped away. So they can't come back. It's going to be a whole lot of loss if they came back. But Burma was operating very well. They had everything. Now imagine you have all your concentrator, everything set, crusher, everything is set. Then all of a sudden, people looted and all gone. They may not going to come back to reinvest in something like that. Same thing with Lamco. So that's why Acelor Mittal saw, instead of coming to do what Lamco used to do, they convinced whoever it was to high grade. Because that was the cheapest way to go. They didn't have to build any concentrator or any kind of stuff. They just go and scoop it up. Right now, they are in several places scooping high grade. And sending it is called direct ore shipment, whatever they call it.
Wow. Jerome, we are saying Dr. Mulabah is an experienced mining engineer, but politicians would never give the professional chance to work. Liberia lacks the technical capacity, big brother. This is so sad. B. Kane Blama said, given that Liberia was hungry for investors after the civil conflict, don't you think these concession agreements were done to bring relief to the economy?
The question is for me?
Yeah. Well,
it could be, but you could still bring relief to the country and make sure that the right thing is done.
They are doing the right thing, correct?
Because what happened, they were coming to Liberia because they knew, these investors were not sleeping. They knew that the war drove the mining companies away. So it was already a proven reserve. It was just there to be mined. They didn't have to do any exploration. So when they came, mango, they were the cool, but they knew exactly what they wanted. We were sitting here, we just finished the war, get it free. Yeah, but get the concentrator and continue. Even if you didn't have any knowledge of mining, you should look at an example of the previous man. They all had concentrator. Now, why allow this man to come with all concentrator?
What is your advice to the current government given the state of the economy? Ask them to build a concentrator.
again, I speak in my area of expertise. Okay, so I'm a subject matter expert on mining. So my area is mining, and not only Acelor Mittal, any other company that's coming to Liberia to mine iron ore, the concentrator, the crusher, everything, the blending bed must be the first thing to be discussed if they have determined that the ore mineral is economical. Okay, so that if you can build a concentrator, you can improve the lives of people in Yekepa, Bon County, because that money you talk about, they give royalty to the different countries. If you expend the life of the man, isn't it more money?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the concentrator can do that. That's my answer to my fellow.
The last question here. So Tobacco is providing some information here. So Dennis, the Ameda MDA passed. The legislature should have rejected it with notes to the executive, but instead they voted to pass it. By passing and signing the MDA, no change will be made. The signature fee from the MDA was included in the budget as revenue.
Okay.
Dr. Mulabah, anything else you want to add to this discussion tonight that we have not touched on?
The only thing I would say that all that I have said here, the solution are available. We have a professional group of people here. They are all Liberians with over 25, 30 years working experience in the areas. Environmental scientists, a PhD. We have people who have had extensive experience in the mining services in Liberia up to last year. We have civil engineers. We have people who can do power generation, telecommunications. They are all Liberians willing to come and consult for the government. And our consultancy is not just paperwork. We're going to hold these concessionaires, these mining companies, their feet to the fire. The first thing I'm going to ask for is the concession agreement or the MDA, whatever you call it. And we're going to go through a lamala and find out whether you are doing what you're supposed to do technically, not political. If you're gonna explore, if you're gonna do exploration to extend the mine, what is your exploration plan? See, if the color grade drops by science and technology, you should bring down your color grade too, so we can have more reserves. And they all relate to giving more money to the government, giving more incentive to the people, giving more chances for the children to go to school, medical, all of that, and extending the life of the mine, because once you take it out, it's gone.
Yeah.
So that's my message.
Thank you so much. This Thursday, on Tough Talking Thursday, we're going to be discussing Cummings, Boakai, or WIA, your choice for 2023, or is there someone else? We have our regular panelists, Mr. Wilmot Cooney, Mr. Mohammed Sharif. They will be here. We have invited Massa Washington, and we have invited someone from the ANC, Mr. Ava Tokwa, and also George Preston Lobo from the Unity Party. I'll be here sitting with these Liberians to discuss 2023. Again, Dr. Mulabah, thank you so much for coming and sharing your expertise with us. We hope that the gatekeepers in Liberia are listening and that something will be done. Just in case you are in Liberia and want to reach out, please do so. You can reach out to Dr. Mulabah, or you can reach out to him through Focus on Liberia, and definitely we're going to pass on the message. Always keep it here at Focus on Liberia, where we educate, we elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We also want to thank our viewers and even those who will watch later. This is what we do here. Dr. Mulabah, let me get your closing comments and we can draw down the curtains.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to give this message to our people that will be beneficial for Liberian people, and it is doable. You have the technical expertise, just reach out to us. Mr. Dennis Jah has my contact information, and you can all reach out to me and let us work together and improve the lives of our people. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And until then, my name is Dennis Jah. We never close our broadcast to say we are all Liberians, because sometimes it gets so polarizing, it gets convoluted, it gets muddy, because we have differences of opinion. But whatever political side you may be on, economic class, it doesn't matter. We are all Liberians, and we must do whatever it takes to make our country that glorious land of liberty. Have a good night, and God bless you.
We are Liberians. Liberia is our home. Liberian people. Our father, Everybody